Picture this. You just finished tuning a boiler. You hand the homeowner that curly printout with the combustion numbers. They glance at it and ask, "What the heck is CO air free?" You freeze. Most techs mumble something vague and move on. But in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to make you the hero who answers that question with total confidence and saves lives while you're doing it. Welcome to Boiler Room Detective. I'm Ray Wohlfarth, and today we're cracking the case of CO air free, what it really means, why it matters, and the sneaky trick some techs use that could put your customers in danger. Let's dive in. I've written 14 books on boilers. They're available at Amazon, Pronto Heating Supplies, HeatingHelp.com, and T.F. Campbell. Greetings, fellow detectives. Carbon monoxide, or CO, is measured in ppm, or parts per million in the stack. To appreciate how small this is, 1 part per million is like 1 inch in 16 miles, or 1 drop of food dye in a bathtub full of water. For years, technicians have relied on as measured CO reading, the number that appeared directly on the analyzer screen. At first glance, it seemed reasonable. The analyzer measures the carbon monoxide in the flue gases, and the number should be the number the appliance is producing, right? Not exactly. Years ago, we measured only CO2, better than eyeballing the flame, but still a problem. Look at the stoichiometric chart. CO2 shows up on both sides of perfect combustion. You could have 12% CO2 and still be producing CO, or just a bunch of excess oxygen. You have no idea which. Once analyzers started showing both O2 and CO, we knew which side of the line we were on. In the past, when you discovered elevated CO readings in the flue gases, you had two choices. You added more air to the flame to dilute the readings, or you found and repaired the problem. Some techs just cranked in excess air to dilute the CO reading. Imagine your gas tank leaking 1 drop of fuel per second onto the driveway. Instead of fixing the leak, you hose down the driveway so nobody notices the spot. The leak is exactly the same, you just hit it. That's what excess air does to raw CO reading. The industry caught on to this ruse of simply adding more air and developed a calculation called CO air free, or COAF. CO air free is a calculated value that shows what the CO readings would be if all excess dilution air were removed. In other words, the true CO being produced right at the flame. It tells you the combustion quality, not the ventilation quality. If the system has lots of excess air, the measured CO may look low, but the actual CO being produced at the flame could be dangerously high. Why excess air matters so much. Perfect stoichiometric combustion needs roughly 10 cubic feet of air for every cubic foot of natural gas. In the real world, we run 20 to 50% excess air, about 12 to 15 cubic feet total, to make sure we stay on the safe side and to push the flue gases through the heat exchanger. Too much excess air cools the flame and can actually create CO. If the air warms, the O2 level drops. If the air cools, the O2 level rises. To compensate for the O2 differences in the combustion air, excess or extra air is added to the flame. The excess air helps escort the flue gases through the boiler. Think of it like Secret Service officers leading politicians around. Carbon monoxide doesn't like change. Every change of the air to fuel ratio, even going from high to low fire, causes a momentary spike in CO levels. It quickly levels out, but the CO is having a hissy fit because of the change. Some industry guidelines allow up to 400 parts per million CO air free as acceptable, but virtually all modern equipment manufacturers and safety-conscious techs want it under 100, ideally under 50 parts per million or as close to zero as you can get. How technicians should use CO air-free in the field. Always test with a calibrated analyzer that supports CO air-free calculations. Record both numbers, CO and CO air-free, to see how excess air is influencing the combustion. Investigate high O2 or draft levels, which may be hiding problems. Adjust the burner for stable, clean combustion, not simply for low CO readings. Never walk away from an appliance with high CO air free, even if the measured CO looks harmless. The burner is actually making a dangerous amount of CO. The high excess air is just masking it. The conclusion: CO air free makes you a better technician. It's one of the most important combustion readings you have. It tells the truth about what's happening at the flame and removes the guesswork caused by excess air. Understanding CO air free not only prevents unsafe situations, it elevates your professionalism. Lazy techs dilute CO, skilled techs diagnose and fix the problem. By using CO air free correctly, you protect your customers, your reputation, and the homes and buildings you service. This is Ray Wohlfarth, and I'll see you on the next case.